Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling something really core for anyone in commercial real estate, getting a handle on managing your property management teams.
Yeah, it's a big topic.
Definitely. Ever feel like, your team's speaking a totally different language, you're aiming for efficiency, but it
Mhm.
feels more like, well, firefighting constantly.
Oh, absolutely. It's a super common feeling. Managing these CRE teams, it can be incredibly valuable for the business, but without the right setup, it can turn into a real headache. Lost time, frustration.
Right, lost productivity. So we've dug into some really useful stuff for you, guides, articles, the works, covering everything from like the daily grind of operations right up to the big picture strategic stuff for your portfolio.
Exactly. And our mission today really is to cut through all that and give you a clear sort of step-by-step way to make your CRE management effective, really effective.
We looked at, best practices, mastering operations, building those high-performing teams everyone wants.
And even the strategic angles for really optimizing a whole portfolio.
And one thing that jumped out, didn't it? This figure about wasted time.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty striking. Some reports suggest, what was it, over 10 hours a week per team? Just gone on stuff that could probably be
10
avoided.
hours, that's huge. Think about what your team could be doing with that time. More strategic work for your properties, right?
Precisely. It really highlights the opportunity here for improvement, better systems, better focus.
So that's our promise today. Actionable insights. Real steps you can take to streamline things, empower your team, and ultimately see better results from your CRE investments. Ready to dive in?
Let's do it. Where should we start? Maybe the foundations.
Yeah, good call. The foundational elements. It feels like there are a few sort of core pillars holding everything up for effective team management.
That's a great way to put it. Based on the sources, I'd say three things really stand out. First, you need clear, trackable goals.
Okay, clear goals.
Second, building the team strategically, not just filling seats.
Great, this is structure.
And third, really leveraging technology, making it work for you.
Okay, let's unpack those. First one, clear and trackable goals. Sounds basic, but
What is so often missed, right? Or done vaguely. We're talking specific, measurable targets, not just do better.
so instead of like improve tenant happiness,
Exactly. Make it reduce tenant complaints by, say, 15% this quarter. Something you can actually point to and measure across the properties.
and that's where the trackable part becomes key, yeah. I saw a mention of digital dashboards.
Definitely. Dashboards are crucial. They give you and the team that real-time view. How are we doing against that 15% reduction target or cutting maintenance costs?
So everyone's on the same page, sees the progress or lack thereof.
Precisely. It fosters accountability. People see how their work fits in. Plus, as one source mentioned, it helps maintain your company's reputation. It keeps things efficient.
And those dashboards can act as like an early warning system too, spotting issues before they blow up.
Absolutely. A dip in satisfaction scores for one building. Maybe there's a specific issue there you need to jump on. Saves bigger headaches later.
Makes sense. Okay, pillar 2, strategic team building. You said it's not just filling desks.
Not at all. One resource really stressed starting smart, often with administrative support.
Admin first. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, but think about it. It frees up the owner or senior managers from the day-to-day admin grind. Lets them focus on strategy, growth, the bigger picture stuff.
Ah, I see. So it's about optimizing everyone's time, especially at the top.
Exactly. And then choosing the right structure for the team is vital. It depends on your portfolio, your goals. It's definitely not one size fits all.
And clear roles within that structure.
Crucial. Another source highlighted that. Everyone needs to know exactly what they're responsible for and how their role connects to others. No ambiguity.
Right, avoids confusion, drop balls, all that stuff that wastes time. Which brings us to number 3, leveraging technology. This feels less like an option and more like a necessity now.
Oh, totally essential. Modern CRE management pretty much relies on it. Good property management software is key.
What kind of things can that software really streamline?
Well, loads. Lease reminders, tracking maintenance requests, spotting weird spending patterns. It automates so much.
Takes away the manual drudgery.
Exactly. Reduces errors, too. And some of the newer AI stuff, it can even analyze tenant messages to flag potential dissatisfaction before it becomes a real problem. You move from being reactive to proactive.
Wow. Okay. That's a step up.
For sure. And good software also just makes collaboration easier. It's like a central hub for information, keeps everyone in the loop, much smoother operations overall.
Okay, so those are the foundations. Clear goals, the right team structure, and smart tech.
Got it. Now, how does this translate into the day-to-day, the actual operations?
Right. This is where the rubber meets the road, like you said. If those foundations are solid, it makes managing the key operational areas much, much smoother.
And those areas are.
We're talking proactive facility maintenance, building strong tenant relations, keeping a sharp eye on the financials, and of course, staying compliant.
Let's start with proactive maintenance. Seems like a big one for avoiding those fires we talked about. It's huge. Multiple sources stressed preventative maintenance schedules. Fixing small stuff before it breaks big saves time, money, and tenant frustration.
Yeah, makes sense. And didn't one source mention energy efficiency too? As a proactive investment?
It did. Investing in things like energy-efficient lighting or HVAC isn't just good for the planet. It can mean real long-term cost savings for you. Plus, it's often a plus point for tenants now.
Double win. Okay, what about tenant relations? Keeping tenants happy seems pretty fundamental.
Absolutely fundamental. Happy tenants means stable income, lower turnover costs. It's just good business. It's about being responsive, building that positive relationship.
And actively seeking feedback, not just waiting for complaints.
Yes. Whether it's formal surveys or just informal chats, gathering feedback lets you nip issues in the bud, shows you actually care about their experience in your buildings.
Good point. Okay, financials. Smart oversight there seems critical.
Critical is the word. Careful budgeting, tracking expenses accurately, efficient rent collection, solid reporting. You need a tight grip on the financial performance of each property.
And that helps with the bigger picture too, right? Optimizing the whole portfolio.
Exactly. Knowing the numbers lets you spot where to save costs, how to maybe adjust lease terms, and make smarter decisions about your overall investment strategy across all properties.
And the last operational piece, compliance and ethics, non-negotiable.
Absolutely non-negotiable. Adhering to regulations, maintaining high ethical standards. It builds trust with tenants, investors, everyone. It also protects your business from significant risks. You just can't cut corners there.
Vital. Okay, so we've got foundations, operations. Now let's zoom in on the team itself. How do we enhance their performance? Get the best out of them?
Right. So you've got the right people, the right structure. Now, how do you make them truly effective? Communication comes up again and again.
Effective communication. Sounds simple, but
But it's where things often fall down, isn't it? Clear channels, regular meetings, making sure information actually flows properly. It prevents so many errors and frustrations.
and what about skills? I saw something about cross-training.
Yeah, cross-training is a really smart strategy mentioned in the resources. It makes your team more adaptable. If someone's out sick or on vacation, someone else can step in.
Reduces bottlenecks.
Exactly. And it develops your people skills too. Makes the whole operation more resilient.
And circling back to goals and performance tracking,
Mm-hmm.
that's not just a set it and forget it thing.
Definitely not. It has to be ongoing.
Yeah.
Regularly reviewing progress against those goals, giving constructive feedback, recognizing good work. That's what keeps people focused and motivated.
Makes sense. Now, shifting slightly for the owners listening who have, larger portfolios, multiple properties, any specific strategic advice for them?
Yes, definitely. When you're managing a portfolio, you need that higher level view. One source talked about things like space audits.
Space audits. So really analyzing how each space is actually being used.
Precisely. Are you using your square footage efficiently across all properties? Could you consolidate, repurpose underused areas? It helps align your real estate with your actual operational needs.
Okay, find those hidden inefficiencies.
Right. And that same source mentioned flexible workspace solutions becoming more important.
Like co-working elements or adaptable office layouts.
Exactly. Offering that flexibility can be a major draw for tenants now and might even help you optimize your overall space footprint.
Interesting. And the cost-saving stuff we mentioned earlier. Energy efficiency, negotiating leases, that gets amplified across a portfolio, right?
Massively amplified. Small savings on each property really add up when you look at the total portfolio performance. It's about finding those efficiencies of scale.
So for portfolio owners, it's about that strategic kind of 30,000-foot view looking for synergies.
That's it exactly, aligning the whole real estate strategy with the overarching business goals to really drive value.
Wow, okay. This has been really helpful, I think. We've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
From setting those clear, trackable goals and building the team strategically.
Using tech effectively.
Right. And then diving into operations, proactive maintenance, tenant relations, financials, compliance.
And boosting the team itself through communication and cross-training.
And finally, that strategic portfolio view for larger owners. It's quite a roadmap.
It really lays out the key areas. And maybe a final thought for everyone listening.
Yeah.
Out of everything we've discussed today, what's maybe one thing you could actually try to implement this week? Just one small step to start chipping away at that wasted time or boosting your team's effectiveness.
That's a great takeaway question. What's that first step? Maybe it is finally looking seriously at some property management software option.
Could be. Or maybe it's simpler. Maybe it's just setting up a quick informal chat with your team, a coffee and complaints session, perhaps to hear directly from them about their biggest roadblocks.
Yeah, identifying that one area where a bit of focus could make the biggest difference right now, that feels achievable.
Exactly. It's all about that continuous improvement, finding ways to manage smarter, not just harder.
Well said. Thanks for digging into all this with us today. Hopefully these insights give everyone a clearer path forward for managing their CRE teams more effectively.
Hope so too. It's definitely possible to get it right.
Absolutely. Go make it happen.